And we are live. We are broadcasting live at the Wisconsin State Fairgrounds in the Budweiser Pavilion. It's the Happy Hour live stream, and we are so glad that you are here with us this evening on a very, very special night. Why? Because it is going to be a crowd here this evening. I don't know how big it's going to be, but it is the return of live music to the Wisconsin State Fair in the Budweiser Pavilion. I'm joined today by Leanne Hawk, the owner and also general manager of the Bud Pavilion, and Kathleen O'Leary, the executive director of the Wisconsin State Fair. It's like a reunion. Doesn't it feel good?
It feels, words can't express how wonderful it feels.
Yeah, it's like we were talking today about some of the staff. How hard was it to get staff? Because everybody's like shorthanded right now.
Everyone is shorthanded in the industry. However, at the Bud Pavilion, we have this great retention rate. We have about 88% retention. I hire about 10 people every year out of our 100 staff.
You were looking at few, but not many.
Fewer. And,
yeah.
You know, we've been lucky. But the industry itself, it's really, really rough.
How exciting is it, though, to come back? Let's start there with opening the Bud Pavilion. Because, I mean, there's a lot of construction going on. We'll get into that in a minute. But just to get music back, we got Cherry Pie getting ready to go on the stage tonight.
It's alive. We are alive. We're back doing what we do.
I walked in today, and wasn't it weird? It's like we never left. I mean, it's been a long time. It's somewhat emotional to come back and say hello to everybody, but it's like we never left.
It's great. The last time we were operational here at the Bud Pavilion was September 29th, 19.
Yeah.
So it's been more than a year and a half. It's
bizarre. Kathleen, there's a lot going on in the Wisconsin State Fairgrounds, but this is kind of the first. This is the first domino to fall. I mean, obviously, there's going to be a lot of different protocols this year, I would assume, with this Wisconsin State Fair. We'll get into that in a minute, but just to have this aspect of it finally back open, I know you're making a lot of changes to the grounds here, but to have this open and finally just kind of try it, so to speak, the test dummy, if you will, it's got to be good.
In so many ways. In so many ways we are. And we're grateful to be that.
You know what? It feels great. It's not really our first, it's our first outdoor. Right? We hosted the Milwaukee Auto Show. We hosted the Milwaukee Builders Association show, NARI remodeling show, all within the exposition center, the 200,000 square foot exposition center. So we've played with the indoor, and now we're going to play with the outdoor. And we're really, really excited. And certainly with Leanne and then the Hawk Group being such great operators, testing waters with operators like this really, really helps. They understand the necessity of really being very mindful of the protocols and what we need to do to keep everyone safe, because safety is our primary initiative.
So things are going to advance as time goes on and as the weeks go on, but what can people that are coming into tonight expect and throughout the rest of the season? Let's start there.
Well, I would say for tonight, because I think things will change over time. And we're starting tonight, and our decision for tonight is we follow CDC guidelines. We're on state grounds. We follow what the state does, and the state says if you have been vaccinated, you can resume normal activities. If you have not, then you're encouraged to wear a mask and social distance, especially when inside. And so that's the policy.
So it's like kind of beyond the honor system. And if you are, and the other thing is if you're afraid of this, but you still want to come out, you're more than welcome to wear a mask and obviously whatever it is to do.
Without a doubt, and be outside and space out a little bit more. Yep.
Now, normally, let's start there, because normally this is all wide open. And right now with all the construction going on, Kathleen, it's not, because, well, first of all, I was really sad. We lost a tree. We lost our giant shade tree back there.
But we, to the listeners, need to make sure that we did not lose that tree to construction.
No.
That tree was lost to in the 2019 fair. We had some lightning. So, but the beauty of what we do here at Wisconsin State Fair, and certainly being very, love agriculture and horticulture, we're going to take that tree and we're going to have a Wisconsin artist, a carver, come out, and he's going to carve the tree, and it's going to have just symbols and our trademark snowflake logo in it. So we're excited about that.
That'll be really cool.
As far as the construction, we've added to Leanne's challenges.
Well, the good news is the road out front has been completely paved. Most of the roads inside this place are being redone in a lot of different areas. I noticed, if not completely redone, they've been patched. The midway down here, all the way down to the slide is being completely remodeled. We'll get into that. But the facility, by the time we get to State Fair time, I mean, it's going to be a showplace. Absolutely.
It's going to be, and the sidewalks were taken down, so there's no curb to step over or trip over or fall over. So it's really smooth. It's great that way.
So in other words, when we involve a beer and a step, it's never been a good
Not
combination.
usually a great thing. No. Or equipment when we take music equipment in and out. So it's wonderful. We're really grateful to that. The road is really smooth. It's nice. It's going to be great for the fairgoer.
So what are we looking forward to tonight when we open things up? Obviously, there's going to be food here. There's beverages here of all different types. Goose Island Ale House is completely open now. I mean, everything's open. The biggest thing for me is, you know me, corn dogs are back. So that's all that matters. It feels
mini
like
corn dogs.
It doesn't matter. Mini corn dogs are here. I don't care if they're big, if they're Dogzillas, or if they're minis. They're corn dogs, and I feel like I'm at the fair again.
I was going to call you last night because we sampled them.
Yeah.
You know, because we have to make sure they're good for you.
Right, exactly.
So we did that. We threw in a few other things. So everything tastes great.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that because I know that people are looking forward to getting down and eating and having the food and such. Let's talk about the construction with the gates and the netting that is up, Kathleen. Yeah. Tell everybody what you guys are doing with the Wisconsin State Fair.
We're very, very proud of a $3.8 million infrastructure project that has been, I've been CEO now this will be my 6th year, and just into it, we really put this initiative into place. This is an aging entity.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking 130 plus years. So the whole idea behind this project that does take place in the heart of the Fair Park, Grandstand Avenue, Central Mall area where we are right now and where the Bud Pavilion is, all the way down to by the slide, that's all infrastructure. It's not pretty. There's not a sexy thing about it, right? It's all about the lines underneath, the water lines. And then what we decided and what we agreed to do is that, you know, we're going to change all of the curbing and do everything that we just talked about. So you'll see that improvement all throughout the heart of the park. But then right in front of this giant slide for the listeners that have been here, instead of paving back over it, right, like we would do normally, we're going to make a great area. It's going to be a gathering spot. It's going to be the central mall that people can come to and they can sit, and it's going to have those creature comforts that we so need here. And we're going to put the park back in the park, and it's going to have seating. There's going to be some swings. There's going to be some real soft lighting for our evenings. So when you get your great food and you want to go have a great place to sit together and enjoy the fair foods and just the fair company, that's where you're going to be able to go. We're really excited about it.
It's difficult to see, but the camera is showing all the way down. If you look in the distance, the giant slide is down there, but this is all under construction. That blue tarping is the fencing that basically cordons us off from where the construction is actually going on. And the old road that went through there and the trees that went through there, it's gone. There's nothing there. So when you talk about the gathering area, correct me if I'm wrong, there's going to be some lighting that's going to come up from the ground. There's going to be colored tiles down there or colored concrete or something to that effect down there. I mean, it's going to be really, like you said, it's going to be sexy and dressed up and very fair.
Beautification. I don't know about sexy. There's nothing sexy about the infrastructure, and I'm not so sure that the Central Mall area will be sexy.
Oh, it'll look a lot better.
A beautiful area, and it is. There's going to be like the lights that you just talked about. Again, being very mindful of the DNR and working through it. We have a rain garden. The way in which we're laying the stonework is really an organic rain garden, and the runoff can go in through that. So that's just a big part of what we try and do here. We want to be good to our community, good to the society, and from an agriculture and horticulture standpoint, we want to be good there. Our environment.
I would assume that other bar owners are excited about all of this as well, and the fact that you guys are the first ones to open up out here, outside, so to speak. And we look at the Liney Lodge and all the different bar owners that are in the area here. My assumption is they're probably as excited as you are that this is finally starting to lift a little bit, right?
No question. No question.
Yeah.
Benno's been here just about every day with me.
Really?
He's just hammering away, fixing tiles, fixing this and that, and just so excited.
Because to close it down and sit for almost 2 years, a year and a half, just the dirt alone that had gathered, just the dust that had been through
And the
here.
question, does your equipment still work? What has happened over the past year and a half since we've been open last? So there's a lot to it. 2 winters, which is not easy on equipment that just sits.
Yeah.
And the buildings are cold. They're not heated. So there's a lot of work. There was a lot of work to bringing us back.
Yeah, I was here about 2 weeks ago, and you had one of the cleaning companies that cleans the stadium, correct me if I'm wrong?
Performance Clean. Yeah.
And it took them, what, 3 swoops?
Full days.
Okay.
Of a huge team just to take off the layer of dirt and dust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention with the construction going on, it's going to add to that situation as well.
So our pre-cleaned helped us get in there so we could work and not be totally dirty.
So tonight is free of charge to get in, $5 to park cars. Correct me if I'm wrong?
$6
$6 to park cars.
Yep.
The change is
3 for motorcycles.
3 for motorcycles.
Yep. Motorcycles are sponsored.
Oh,
So motorcycle
motorcycles are
parking is
sponsored.
free.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
So we know that now, and I feel a lot better. But there is a change to parking because the motorcycles are going to be now behind us,
they're parking right by the amphitheater. So they're going to be funneled in, and the parking company will funnel them into the appropriate place, and they'll come in on Grandstand Avenue and park in the amphitheater.
Okay.
Yep.
So then cars back out front
will be back behind the Cream Puff Pavilion.
So
like
the
usual.
people that bring their chairs, they're going to have a little bit less space to kind of gather in.
So with the infrastructure and the new road and everything, there was some tear up to this part of the park, and the park was actually expanded a little bit. So there was sod laid down. Thank you to Kathleen.
Yeah, there was a lot of mud last time we were here.
Yes, it could have been seeded, and we could have been completely closed off to this. And
driving
so we're
through about 2 a.m.
here.
seeing Kathleen out here with a hose watering things down was not what I was expecting.
But she'd do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But so yeah, there is sod. It's taking to protect the growing sod for the long term, which is the fair, and long term to have this park here. The fair has opted to shut off part of it.
Okay.
But the main viewing area for Wednesday Night Live is open here, so you can see back in from here. It's a little bit smaller, but the best viewing areas are here anyway.
Yeah.
So, and then we'll protect that sod, and in a few weeks it'll be back.
I was going to say,
we'll
so how long is all of the construction and all of this going, Kathleen?
We are, if everything goes according to plan, which we're ahead of schedule, which is awesome, July 12th.
Okay.
So giving us a little bit of breathing room, certainly before we open our gates on August 5th through the 15th, but just a couple weeks here.
Yeah, I was going to say, because really the action starts to pick up in about 2 weeks, where you're going to start to get a lot of business owners that are going to come in, the people that have these different kiosks and such that are going to come in, and they're really going to start kind of prepping.
That's the beauty of it.
Let's talk about the fair, because I see all the time Instagram posts, Facebook posts, and what have you. A lot of acts, things are booked, things have been announced. So give me some of the things other than just opening your gates again, what you're excited about.
Oh, I'm excited about opening the gates. Right?
That's the obvious.
The biggest one. Super excited about that. And you know what? The fair is going to look very, very similar to what it looked like in 2019. Certainly we have to make some modifications, and I hope that the listeners and the people that are going to come out understand that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're coming out of an awful pandemic, an unthinkable time. And in order to keep people safe, we have to make some changes. They're slight. There's nothing that's, a complete overhaul of anything. We won't be seeing a parade this year. For obvious reasons, I would say we've eliminated a few stages. Well, the exposition center, the way in which it's laid out, will look a little different. And the exposition center, for those that have not been here, it is 200,000 square feet, and that is where all your slicers and dicers and pitchmen and chamois and mops and all of that are. They'll all still be here, but they'll just be laid out a little more space in between, giving everybody a little more.
Does that eliminate
room.
some of the people that could have been in here? The total number of vendors that would have normally been in here? Does it go from like 400 down to 350 or something? That I think
it's not a drastic change,
okay.
and it's really not a drastic change on our account. It's a drastic change because people had hardship through this time.
Yeah.
And especially these vendors, right? So working with them, and hopefully they'll rebound, and maybe they had 3 locations and now they'll have 1. So those are the type of things that we're taking into consideration. We've made some, action improvements, but you'll see a new improvement in the way in which we have our outside gallery. It's now called the Midwest Marketplace, and there's some of the fun things in that respect, but the traditions that people have come to love. I'm looking at the Cream Puff Pavilion. Certainly they'll all be here, and we are going to bring back our drive-through. So in the mornings from 6 to 8 on select mornings, and you have to go to our website because everything is changing on a regular basis. It's just WISConsinStateFair.com. But a number of the mornings of the 11 days of the fair, we will have the cream puffs available from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. You pre-order them. You come to the north lot, which is by where the Spin City rides and games are. You come in a gate, you drive right through, you pick up your order, and then you drive out. So we're going to bring that back with obviously the successes of the drive-throughs that we had during the pandemic in 2020. So that's going to be brought back. Really, I think that those that are ready to come, we're going to welcome you with open arms.
With the weather tonight, how many people do we expect? Want to take a guess?
I don't know. We just don't know. I think it's going to be good night.
I think it's going to be huge.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be
so.
huge.
I think we
People
should have
wanna
brought some additional
come.
people in to say, stay off the grass. That's just my thought. Kathleen, so when we talk about Spin City, is that going to be affected because of protocols?
And not affected. I mean, our cleaning protocols, and I'm so proud to say this, that we are not going to be challenged like some where they're going to have to just put these new, incredibly, new protocols that they're not accustomed to. We've always been at the far end of cleanliness, right? Being an agricultural showcase, biohazard, biosecurities, all of those protocols were well in place pre-pandemic, right? So now we're going to take it yet to another level. Certainly the rides, they're not going to be cleaned in between each and every single ride, but the protocols will be heightened. The sanitization will look and feel different, both at the rides and the games. We're going to eliminate 3 rides at this juncture right now. They're not rides that I think are going to change anyone's experience. It's just, again, to be able to spread out and have things so that there's a little more room between everything, just to give that breathing room that we want.
So when it comes to tonight, is there anything different? Is there less tables? Is everything the same? Is it maybe just spread out
a little bit more? We brought more outside, some more tables outside. Our cleaning protocols have always been good as well, and we use a professional cleaning company that comes in at night. And we've just heightened it.
Yeah, I've seen everybody wiping down tables and whatever residual dust has been picked up is all being cleaned up as well.
Exactly. And we'll sanitize in between. If people leave a table, we've got a protocol for that. So
this year's a little bit different because Summerfest pushed back, which means you get to run music all the way through the summer into State Fair. The week you're going to shut down after the fact of State Fair, and then after that, you go all the way into September this year, right?
We did. We decided to try that this year. We never have done it all the way through to Harvest Fair, but we thought, why not?
Yeah.
People love what we do. It's a free concert. It's a great gathering place. We have so many people that come from just the local community. They're not necessarily going to Summerfest or wherever. They're coming here. So we thought we'll just extend it. September's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wednesday night in September, why not?
Which Septembers have been like September. They've been actually really good the last few years, oddly enough.
Don't jinx it.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Thank God to global warming or something, but nevertheless, they've been actually really, really good.
Exactly. And so we'll evaluate after we do it and see how it is. And I think it's going to be great. I think people are so ready for more music.
That's what I was going to say. I saw the posts on Facebook and Instagram for the Bud Pavilion, and I know we expect a big crowd here tonight, but what has the reaction been when it comes to social media to you guys saying we're opening back up? Because we kind of got the sense that this was coming. There were certain things it's like, hey, we need to start opening things back up. Not only for the fact that we're all going stir crazy, but we believe that the vaccines are up, that all the numbers are going down, there's tax dollars that need to be collected, there's things that we need to get back to normal to. So what was the reaction when it kind of hit that, hey, here's our lineup, we're ready to go?
Overwhelmingly positive. I mean, I don't even, there's always critics to the music or to your products or whatever. I think we had one person saying one little thing. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
So many, and I've had so many private messages from people that are just customers and just so grateful to be able to be back, waiting to come. Can't wait till it's been amazing. I'm so glad we can bring it back. I'm so glad we can work with the fair to make it happen. I'm so glad my staff is here and willing to do it and ready to do it and eager to do it.
So this ground is State Fairground, but it's in West Dallas, in Milwaukee County. So Kathleen, when it comes to the governing of this, do you go by state? Do you go by West Dallas? Do you have to go by Milwaukee? How do you juggle all of that, first of all? Because you got a lot of political crap you got to deal with.
She's very talented.
See, I can say political crap. You can't, but you just smile and go and nod your head and say, I'm sorry, Senator. He said it, not me. There you go.
We're complicated. There's no question about it, but we will follow, certainly what Leanne just said. I mean, tonight the CDC guidelines are being followed and the state of Wisconsin guidelines are being followed. And the state of Wisconsin.
And this stuff is almost changing daily, too.
It is
for what it is
changing.
And when it is and deadlines and dates and things like that.
It is. June 1st, the state of Wisconsin lifted the guidelines and are following, for all intents and purposes, the CDC guidelines. Back to if you are vaccinated, then you're not required to wear it. If you haven't, then you are asked to please, for your own good, wear the masks. Social distancing right now is not in place, but requested and certainly encouraged to be very mindful of,
Yes.
of our social distancing. So that is where we are right now, and we have not yet, we're not where we
Are
want
you
to be to define where we are for fair.
I was going to say, are you just, that's what I was going to ask you. Are you anticipating something different? Are you anticipating something more? Because you have to be very, very fluid in preparing for something that's going to take place in the first week of August.
Very
For
much
sure.
so. Very much so. 56 days away, but who's counting?
Is that your alarm clock? It just says, get out of bed, 54.
And that slap or that ding that goes, yeah. No, right now that, this is the guidelines and the restrictions are continually changing. We're hoping they're continue to go in the right direction. And we're going to stay encouraged. We're going to stay cautiously optimistic. And we will be making and communicating and being very transparent, here in the next few weeks, because it's silly for us to make these announcements of what we're going to do today publicly to everyone when it could change, quite frankly, tomorrow. So we're watching it every single day, day in and day out.
Does what is going on down at American Family Field, where they're now going to full capacity, does what's going on at the Fiserv Forum, you got to pay attention to that, because those things are very indicative as to what's to come. Because the NFL has said, we're not going to have mandates. We're going to be wide open come football season in the 1st of September. So all of that has to kind of, go in conjunction with what you guys do.
We're watching it, and I'd ask the listeners to watch it.
Anything new coming to the fair?
Oh, gosh.
Or are you just trying to open the doors?
You know what? A lot of that, really, there's some new and exciting things. Certainly a very large construction project is one of our biggest ones. We're super excited about the approval of a new bathroom for the 2022, which we desperately need. And these things that don't seem sexy and aren't fun are the greatest things in the world.
A new bathroom is sexy. Trust me. For the lines that we've seen late at night, the new bathroom is sexy.
Exactly. No, opening our doors and having our vendors be back and having people that are ready to come, be able to come and experience everything, because what the Wisconsin State Fair is, it's a celebration of everything we should be so proud of in Wisconsin. Everything from the agriculture, the horticulture, all of everything. But we need to be ready to do that, and we want the fairgoers to be ready to come. In your earlier question about staffing, we need it. We need you. We desperately need you. We had a job fair on Saturday. We're going to have a hiring center. We can't do it without you. We can't do it without the help of people. So that is my shout out from the rooftop to say, please go to the website, be mindful, come in. It's a great place to work for 11 days. It's a great part of being a part of the magic of what we do here and what we put forth for, hopefully however many people choose to come this year.
So the corn dogs are back. The award-winning Blue Ribbon Brownies better be back.
They're back.
Thank God for that. That's thank God for that. That's what I care about. Highlights, Cherry Pie kicks it off tonight.
Cherry Pie tonight.
6 o'clock, gates open, 7 o'clock.
We're kicking it off with a big one.
Yeah, so, but you got Bella Cane.
Bella Cane's in September.
Rebel Grace is going to be going through this year.
Next week is the toys.
The toys are next week, yeah. So
we
you got
have
a lot
Love
of the big
Monkeys
names.
for the Cream Puff 5K, because that'll be July 19th, I believe.
Talk about that real quick, the Cream Puff 5K.
The Cream Puff 5K benefits our Wisconsin State Fair Park Foundation. And the foundation is obviously meant to be able to do things that we wouldn't be able to do otherwise. They're a part of this project and the beautification project. So the Cream Puff 5K is just that. It's this great 5K race that's here at the Fair Park. And then guess what? You end up right here, right in front of the Bud Pavilion. And not only do you get a cold beverage, a cold beer, but you also get a delicious cream puff.
Yep.
There you
How
go.
much better? That'll get you that. That'll
You
get
can
anyone
run,
to the finish
you can
line.
walk, or you can just come here.
When do we now? We know during the fair the cream puffs start up again, but when do they start? Because I remember businesses would deliver them. We'd get them dropped off at the radio stations, all that kind of stuff, which I got a new address, by the way, so I have to make sure I put that down before I leave. But when does all that start to ramp up?
Oh, you know what? They've already been in the dairy bakery. They've already started, just to Leanne's point earlier, what it took to get the Bud Pavilion up and running and ready. It's going to be as much, if not more, to get that bakery, ready to go. So they're doing a hiring center. So if you want to be a part of the cream puff magic, then you know what? I know that they're hiring, although we really want you to work for the State Fair. So are all competing for it. But July 1st, for sure, they are up and in and getting ready.
Leanne, it's easy to get local bands here. I mean, I guess everybody's chomping at the bit to get back on the stage, right?
They really are.
Nobody held out.
Really,
Everybody
really
said we're ready to go.
You know, the bands have not been playing either.
Yeah.
Because there were no festivals last year. And there's fewer festivals this summer.
Yeah.
They all want to play.
I noticed that it's everybody from Jim Gaffigan, Dave Chappelle, and every major band is announcing some kind of a tour. How easy was it? Are they knocking on your door going, hey, do you got a stage? Can we play?
You know what? The beauty of a number of our acts were that we carried them over. We had actually had them contracted for 2020, and then obviously everything happened. So we have a great lineup. We have 10 nights of great, from Hank Williams Jr. to Skillet to Brothers Osborne, Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias.
Yes.
So we're doing the comedy thing as well, and tickets are going great. Boys to Men. So we got a lot of great headliners at the main stage, and then certainly we have our 30 free stages, including the Bud Pavilion. So
anything else you want to say before we get out of here? We've gone on almost 30 minutes, which is a solid. It doesn't seem like it, but I looked over and I'm like, wow, you got a job to do, and I know you got to open it. I know, right?
Sitting under the tree.
We should have done this with beverages. We really should have.
So one of us has to work right now.
Yeah. Anything else for people that are coming out?
Come on out and try it. It's really fun. It's a great night.
It is a good night for those that have never been here, and I've been saying for a long time, if you never, and it doesn't matter where you're coming from, and there's hotels and such in the area if you're coming from out of the city area of Milwaukee. Anything else?
You know what? We look forward to seeing everyone 56 days, but really August 5th through the 15th. But in between now and then, the Wednesday Night Lives, we have a race coming up. We're back.
Is there anything else happening? We got Wednesday Night Live. Is there anything else happening on grounds prior to the fair?
Yes,
other than the 5K.
We have the 5K, and then we have the ARCA race, the Midwest ARCA race, which is on Father's Day weekend.
Right. That's over here at the Milwaukee Mile.
It's hot, so we're going to.
It's good to see that going again.
Oh, it's awesome to see that going again, and then we'll have another race in September. After the fair, we have 2 horse shows, so our agricultural area is going to be popping as well. So, yes, it feels great, and
it's good.
It's been a hard run. It's been a hard 15 months for everyone. We're not out of the pandemic, but we're into recovery. So let's all be safe, and let's all come out and just enjoy the gathering here at Wisconsin State Fair Park.
It'd be great if they just continually play music so we don't have to. But that is it. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. But the State Fair Park is going to be open. Wednesday Night Live is back. It begins tonight. Go to the Bud Pavilion on Facebook.
Yep.
And check it out.
Yep. And wistatefair.com, and that's where you'll get all of your up-to-date information on all of the events that are happening here, as well as the Wisconsin State Fair.
So people can check out the lineup. They can check out the lineup here for the State Fair, all the rides, everything is going to be open.
Buy your tickets.
Ferris wheel back?
Of course.
Wonder Wheel.
Okay, the Wonder Wheel is back as well. So it's time for us to get out of here. But thanks to everybody for joining us, both watching us, and there's a lot of people on the stream today, so appreciate it very much. Kathleen O'Leary, Leanne Hawk, I'm Bill Michaels. Time for us to go. Have a great